Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Vaughn with CCM Magazine, and we are here today with We the Kingdom to talk about their very first full-length album, Holy Water. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing so good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Good. We are very excited that you're here today, and I would love if each of you would take a second and introduce yourself so the viewers had be able to place a name with the face and the voice that they hear.
Yeah, so my name is Andrew Berchthold, and I play keys and aux instruments and some BGVs and all that stuff.
Pretty much everything.
A little bit of everything.
I'm Martin Cash. I play drums in the band.
I'm Franny, and I sing.
Well, hey, guys, we were so excited when we were asked to come in and do an interview with all of you about your new album, Holy Water. And this album, for me, if it's a good album, I want to hit repeat. I didn't only want to hit repeat on the album, I wanted to hit repeat on every single song on this. So good job. It's an amazing album. And now you have 2 nominations for the Grammy Awards on it. You have Best Contemporary Gospel Album and Best Contemporary Best Contemporary Christian Album and Best Contemporary Christian Performance for Song for Holy Water. How does that feel? First full album out of the box, and the Grammys and the Doves come calling.
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. It's hard to process.
Yeah.
I honestly wondered at some point, I was like, I wonder, if that would be a possibility that we'd get nominated for the Grammys. But then I assumed that it would have happened in like middle of the year sometime. I didn't know they waited. I just don't keep up with that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it's not going to happen. I moved on. It's fine. And so then when I heard, I was like, yeah, just floored. It's such an honor, man.
Yeah. Well, it's really deserved. I really do feel that. How did this band come about?
That's a good question. That's a long story. I don't know. Does anyone want to take that?
You want to?
You take it.
So we've been doing, most of us are family in the band, and we've been doing, I don't know if you're familiar with Young Life.
I am.
They're like a high school kind of ministry, and we've had connection with them forever. And so growing up, we'd go do these camps. It's like Sharp Top in northern Georgia and Windy Gap in North Carolina. And I mean, while we were doing them, we were all doing kind of music individually, like either pursuing solo artisting or music production or whatever it was. And 3 years ago at the camp, we usually do them in August, we were one night, for some weird reason, we had never written together, all 5 of us. There's 3 of us here, so gosh, his math is bad. There are 2 that are not with us, but 5 of us were like, man, we're all feeling like writing a song. It was just on our hearts to write this song for these kids, just to tell them how much God loves them. That was it, kind of this unanimous thing. And so we went to this hot tub at the camp, and
the best place to write a song, of course.
Place, yeah. Right? First song, all brought like guitars and mandolins and whatever it was, and we probably wrote this song within like 15 minutes.
Wow.
Came so quick. It was wild. And ended up playing it for the kids the next morning, and they just fell in love with it. A few students from that school, unfortunately, like later in the years, had like passed away, or some tragic event like that, and they would play this song at like the funeral and in their chapels and at sporting events. It was crazy. We were just like, what in the world is, there's clearly a connection here that we weren't planning on. And so I think when we got back home, there was discussion of like, I think at first it was like a joke.
Yeah,
like,
it was
it'd be funny if we were in a band. But then I think as it went on and the connection just started to be clear, it was like, gosh, there might be something special here. And I think that we would be ignorant not to follow the leading of God's voice, or what you think. Sometimes you just go on what you think is the leading. And so here we are, 3 years later. It's crazy.
Well, go ahead.
And the first that song that we wrote is "Dancing on the Waves." I don't know if Martin said that or not, but and it's actually on the record.
And it was your first single.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your second single comes out not long after Dancing on the Water, which is Holy Water. And I think that just shot y'all into the stratosphere for everyone to hear. That song is so powerful. Where did that come from?
That was
Another accident.
Another accident. I feel like, yeah, all of it, I guess all but one of our songs have been accidents in a sense. Like, I think it's really cool to be in a band with so many creative minds.
Mm-hmm.
It's really amazing, and also makes it really hard to get things done because that's the discussion we have all the time, because it's like we get sidetracked. We're working on something and we get sidetracked. So Holy Water actually was one of those moments where we were working on another song that ended up being our third single.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, was it a third single? Yeah, I think it was. Got So Love.
Yeah.
It was our second radio single. But we were working on God So Loved, and Martin started playing this kind of moody, these chords on piano. And everybody was like, whoa, what's going on? This is something really cool. It's really special. So we like stopped working and totally sidetracked, but it was the best sidetrack that we could have ever done. And I think we wrote the song within a day and half produced it, and the next day we finished producing it the next couple of days. So it was like a really fast process.
Wow.
That's
amazing. Well, I can tell you, the moment I heard it, I stopped in my tracks. So that's one of those songs that I think is going to be a legacy song for you that you will carry throughout your career. I really, really do think that. So how was the song selection process for you for the album?
I remember it being very stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably went through
we had
not finished songs, but like 80.
So many.
Writing's our favorite thing.
Is it?
So we had so many songs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We had a big whiteboard.
And we had several meetings. We had literally several times where we decided the record, and then it would change. It would be like we'd sit down and talk about it. Be like, yeah, this was probably it, and then it changed. Like,
And then we'd like write a song, and that would be added to it, or something like that.
That's the problem with the band. It's so creative, but it's amazing. So it was fun. It was a fun process to actually put the songs together, though. Like, once we had the list, getting in the studio and working on it was just incredible.
Yeah. I love the fact that you now have multiple more music to put into projects. So there'll be great music coming along from you for a long time to come. It sounds like.
Hope so. We hope so.
Yeah. So if somebody sits down and listens to this album, start to finish, what's the message that you want them to take with them?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, like with all our songs, just that our hope would be that there would be a song written for every emotion, so that when they listen down to the album, they would feel just extreme joy all the way through, or maybe resonate with a particular song, you know. Like, I think for me, Waking Up, I don't know if you're familiar with this, like the second song off the album. Waking Up gives me extreme joy, but then there are other songs, like SOS.
Yeah.
I'm sad. Like, it makes me really sad. Part of it makes me angry, you know. And I think it's healthy because it completes all the colors of the canvas, you know, that I think God uses to paint our story. And if we're not honoring to each color in each shade, then I think the picture loses its kind of the potential of how beautiful it can be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it gets dangerous when, like, you start dwelling on certain things. You start dwelling on pain or whatever. You kind of take the victim mindset, whatever. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's just giving a brief moment of, like, hey, I see, like, almost talking to the emotion. I see that you're real. I see that you're affecting me.
Yeah.
And then, as the scriptures tell us, like, take every thought captive, and you take that and you give it to God so that you don't have to bear it. But it's not in ignoring, like, shove it to the side, throw a smile on your face. Everything's like cupcakes and roses, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that would be at least one of our hopes.
Yeah. So I would love to hear from each of you. What's your favorite lyric on the album?
Wow. There's a lot of lyrics to go through. I don't think I've ever been asked that question.
No, we've never been asked that.
I love that question, though. I mean, the first one that popped in my head would be from No Doubt About It. and just I'm not yet where I'm going, but I'm a long way from where I was. To me, that's it sticks with me.
Mm-hmm. I really connect with Dancing on the Waves. I felt like that song was written at a really low place in my life, and it felt like, I don't think any of us could say that we like wrote it. It felt more like God was just like, here you go, and it had already been written before by, I don't know, like I feel like it was already sung before, like it was already written before, and then we just got to be the first ones to hear it type thing.
Yeah.
But that song like really connects with my story, and I love all the lyrics in that song, but I think the one that says I dare you to believe how much I love you now, like that just gets me, because I've lived a lot of my life trying to earn God's love and his approval, and it's like really burnt me out at places in my life. And so getting to take the dare that maybe he just loves me because he loves me and that's it, like that has challenged me to live my life from that place, and has like been a huge perspective change, and it's really changed my life. So
It's kind of random. I think they changed
That's okay.
for me, but right now the first one that comes to mind is the bridge of SOS. Why do I do the things I don't want to do when all they do is hurt me? And it's weird. Like to me, it has kind of a double meaning. Like when all they do, they being like people that just hurt us, and then we run to vices to try to like settle the pain or whatever it is. But then also I think the original intent was like when all they do, like the actual things you do, the things you run to, like they just hurt you, and I just love how honest it is. Like, why do I do these things? Like, I don't want to do them, but I still do. So God, forgive me for doing them type mentality.
That's great insight. Really great insight. As we wrap up our interview, is there a message of hope that you would like to leave with the viewers?
The message that I hope that people take away from listening to our album, and the message that I just want to offer people that I'm learning right now, is something similar to what I said like earlier, to I dare you to believe how much I love you now. Like I hope that people could just take a minute and really realize how much God loves them, not for the things that they do, whether good or bad, but just because of the fact that he absolutely loves them, and that would change us from the inside. Somebody told me recently, they said to live from love and not for love. And I love that. I think I just want people to know, like, you don't have to work for God's love. Like he already loves you so much. Just rest in that and let it get inside of you, so that your life can like overflow from that place.
Gentlemen, do you have anything else to add?
I love that. That actually kind of goes with something that I've been learning recently, which is like there can be I don't know, I was talking with a friend the other day, and there's so many things going really well for me in my life right now, and really great, but for some reason my tendency is to find the things that's not going right and to focus on that, and because of that, it makes everything that's going well like seem meaningless or seem pointless. It's like but man, when we think, like just what Franny was saying, that we are fully loved and accepted, like if we can find joy and rest in that, then we can have peace and joy for our entire lives, no matter if things are like the best they've ever been or the worst they've ever been. Because the truth is, you can always find something that's going wrong. It's just what you choose to focus on. So yeah, I love that, Franny.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by today. And everyone, go buy We the Kingdom's new album, Holy Water. It's so good. You can get it everywhere, wherever you get your music, it's available. And best of luck on the Grammys. I can't wait to see what God has in store for you, especially with this album. It's so exciting to see how fast it has come, but the fact that you come from it not as a place of, oh, look at what we did, but look at what God has done. And I love that. And I cannot wait to see what happens. Thanks so much.
And we would love to stay connected with anyone that sees this on Instagram. We have an Instagram, it's just at We the Kingdom. We just love connecting with people there. So that would be amazing. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye.